612-6976 or visit TomToole.com. Join our team at Tom Toole Sales Group Remax main line.
Hello there, this is Nat King Cole, wishing you all a happy and a Merry Christmas. The joy of living is in the giving. So let's give lots of toys for tots. Toys, toys, toys for tots. Some have too many, some haven't any. If those who have give those who haven't, oh, what a Christmas day. The Marine we serve will help you fill your sleigh with lots and lots of toys for tots. So give a little toy today.
Since 1947, the United States Marine Corps has been helping Santa fill his sleigh, making happier holidays for deserving children right in your community. Go to toysfortots.org and learn how you can make a difference.
The following programming is sponsored by Thomas Toole III. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect the station, its management, or BZ Media Group.
Good afternoon, Greater Philadelphia area. This is Toole Time Real Estate Radio on WWDB 860 AM. I'm Tom Toole. Lily Christinger is on the way. We both work at the Tom Toole Sales Group at Remax Main Line, the number one Remax team in Pennsylvania since 2018. And we've got some very interesting housing market data to break down today, seeing a near 3-year high in demand for the month of December. We're going to break that down locally for what it means for the Greater Philadelphia area, suburban counties, as well as the city. And some confusion about what's actually happening in the market. Is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? Or is it for nobody? And then we're going to be breaking down tax increases across the 4-county area: Philadelphia, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery. We've got some development projects happening in Chester County. There's a cruise ship terminal that is getting built in Tinicum. And another mall is up for sale. This seems to be a real trend here. So if you get some value out of this, or you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You can hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to schedule a call with our team, you can do that with the link right in the comments. So December housing demand. Now, this to me is fascinating that, obviously every single week we're looking at interest rates, showings, mortgage applications. There's all this data to unlock. And mortgage purchase applications reached a 3-year high this past week across the country. This is big news. A 3-year high in mortgage applications because of improved spreads that have kept rates near 6% for 18 weeks. This is the lowest mortgage rate spread, and I shouldn't say spread, but mortgage rates that we've seen in the past 3 years. And what's happening is when mortgage rates fall below 6.64% and get closer to 6, if you look at the last 36 months of data, it clearly shows that there is going to be a bump in purchase application data, especially week to week. And what's happened in the past is that rates weren't able to hold that low for that long to get any real traction. And because we've held below 6.64% for the last 18 weeks, and it's the best 18 weeks of the year, we're seeing some really positive mortgage purchase application data. The purchase application index is the highest it's been all year this past week at 186.1. That's a statistic that's used to determine, what that purchase application data looks like. It's how they rate it. It's the highest number we've seen all year. And remember, in order to file a mortgage purchase application, you have to have an agreement of sale. So it tells me sales are beating the trend. They are going against the grain a little bit here in the month of December. And when you see something like that happen, and you look at total pending sales, we're going to be coming in a little above where we were last year. I think in the month of December, just this past week, we saw 324,000 pending sales compared to 315,000 in December of 2024. And locally, we also chart this activity because that's what really matters here. Real estate is going to be super local. And the local number that we have, if you look at what's going on in the Philadelphia metro area, new purchase contracts They're up 12.6% compared to last week, but they're actually down 2.1% year over year. And we're seeing that, through the month of October, the number of homes that have closed are up 1.5%. So we're seeing kind of a flat market right now when it comes to what's happening locally. Showings are down 4.1% compared to this time last year. And, that's where you've got to look at this. You see these national headlines, you have to be very careful. But there are some good things happening here. We've got a Fed meeting coming up this week. And, when Lily gets up there, I think she actually parked and is walking up right now. I want to get her take on what's happening on the ground because she is meeting with buyers and working with clients every single day of the week. So we want to get that anecdotal in the field take on this. When we look at what the Fed may do this week or may not do, currently we've got predictions from the CME group, and the meeting starts tomorrow. There's an 87.4% chance we're going to see a 25 basis point cut. According to Polymarket, they're charting it at 97% likelihood that we're going to see a 25 basis point cut. And that's dramatically changed here from the comments from Jerome Powell. Now, I would caution everyone here. If you're thinking about trying to time the market after this Federal Reserve rate cut, I've got some bad news. The market's probably already priced all of this in. So I wouldn't be getting too excited about that. I would realize, hey, this is probably already priced into the data, and it's why we're seeing rates kind of hanging out where they are. You look at Mortgage News Daily, they're calling it 6.35% on a 30-year fixed right now. So, and there's really no pre-Fed jitters. If you look at Monday's data that came in, stocks and bonds started to swoon moments after the open yesterday, and that's often seen when the Fed's rate cut outlook is deteriorating, with the Fed on deck on Wednesday coming up here tomorrow. And it's easy to call it pre-Fed jitters, but that's not really what's happening. In fact, nothing really corroborates the narrative here, and it looks like we're going to see a high likelihood of a rate cut. So there's a lot to unpack here. And Ryan Serhant, I thought he did a really nice job. He came out and spoke with, did an interview with my friends at NowBAM, and put something out on Fox Business as well, where he said the housing market belongs to no one right now. He described the current landscape as a market without a clear identity. And there's a lot of truth to this when you think about what's happening locally. So it's not a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market. It's nobody's market because no one knows what to do, according to Serhant. And his comments are coming at a time when consumer expectations are still anchored to past market conditions. And he went on to, give advice to consumers. It's why you want to make sure you're fully educated as you enter the housing market. And I think that's probably some of the best advice that's out there, because we're seeing homes sit on the market. We're seeing homes that are, they're selling right away. We're still seeing multiple offers and those sort of things. So, that's really what he's talking about here. And waiting for rates to go down to 3 or 4% is going to be a recipe for disappointment for a lot of people. And there's going to be a lot of wasted opportunities because too many would-be buyers are waiting for a market that no longer exists. And that's really sound advice here when you think about this, because we make thousands of phone calls a week, and we chart all these calls. We look at what people are saying. This is one of the most common objections that are out there. Realistically, kind of the best case scenario we're seeing is that we are going to get maybe 5.9% by the end of next year, according to places like Realtor.com and Fannie Mae. And, if you look at the insights from Realtor.com, monthly buying costs are going to fall for the first time since 2020 next year. This comes from Danielle Hale. Rising incomes are going to help offset home price gains. Affordability will improve gradually, not dramatically. And mortgage rates are likely going to stay around today's levels even after another Fed rate cut. I'm talking about 12 months from now, we might see them go down to 5.9%. So Danielle Hale, the chief economist over at Realtor.com, said mortgage rates are expected to be low enough to offset price gains, pushing monthly costs down in 2026 for the first time since 2020. And the average that rates are going to hold for in the year is 6.3%. So when that happens, and we're seeing kind of the same. There's a big question here for a lot of people. It's, what do I do in the new year? What do I do if I want to make a real estate decision? And to me, it's always about these questions you need to ask yourself as a consumer. So the questions you want to ask yourself as a consumer are: one, if you're selling a home, do I know where I can move to if my home sells? Do I know where I can move to if my home sells? Is the number one question sellers need to figure out. Because if you don't know where you're moving to, it doesn't matter how high prices are going to be, how advantageous the market is, or anything like that. What matters is, do you have a place to go? Because you're currently living in the property now. If you don't have a place to move to and there's not like a financial issue or something going on or a job relocation that's pulling you out of there, you want to be very careful in moving before you have a place to go. So that's number one. Number two, does it make financial sense for you to make a move right now? Are the maintenance costs too much? Can you afford the payment on the new home? What does the financial part of this look like? And number three, is it the right move for my household? These are the three questions every seller should be asking if they're thinking about moving in 2026. And that's how you can determine how to time the market. Sarah Timon, who's hopefully going to be back from maternity leave here soon, she has talked about this, that it's impossible to time the market and never works out. Now, for a buyer, knowing that there's so much uncertainty in the marketplace, the for a buyer, it's going to be a little different. So, for a buyer, you want to make sure, can you afford the monthly payment? Is the home going to work for you? And can you live there the next 5 years? So if you can answer those questions and you can affirmatively say yes, then absolutely you should be making a decision. That's really what you want to be thinking about. And that's really the way you can time the market in times of uncertainty. And, it's going to be something that is pretty important, because a lot of people right now, they're very uncertain as to what to do. And if you're uncertain what to do, you're going to get into this like paralysis stage. And when you're trying to time the market, and it gets very, very confusing, when you're trying to time the market here. Excuse me I'm trying to message Lily to help her get in here. And she's having trouble accessing the studio. So there we go. It looks like I had to turn off my sound there. There you are. All right. Lily made it. We got her through. This is why I couldn't message you, because I was talking on the radio. So I was trying to do two things at the same time, which I cannot do. So while Lily gets settled in, what we're talking about here again are these insights from Ryan Serhant about it's nobody's market right now and how to guide clients properly. So here, this is for you.
Thank you.
Volume's down on the left. So Lily, what we're talking about here, I want to get your reaction to this, because you're in the field every day. You're in between showings right now. And we'll tell you how to follow Lily here in a second. So Ryan Serhant had this quote that he was on Fox Business. This isn't a buyer's market or a seller's market. It's nobody's market, because nobody knows what to do. How real do you feel that quote is from working with consumers every single day of the week?
It's very accurate. Happen to love Ryan, so way to put it in good words. I did come from a couple showings today, and
Yep.
Fact of the matter is, I have been used to working with buyers in an uber competitive market, having to write really competitive offers, losing out on offers, having to go $100,000 over asking sometimes.
Mhm.
And it does feel like there's been a switch. I just took clients out to see two homes where they've been sitting on the market.
Mhm.
The sellers, I actually have listing agents calling me first now, saying, bring me an offer. And I'm like, what is going on here? It does feel like there's sort of a shift happening, but nobody really knows why or what's going on. So yeah, I'd say I'd agree. It seems like no man's land out here right now.
Well, and what ends up happening is that when you're in these kind of markets where there's a lot of uncertainty, I think it's all the more reason to see what your options are. Not enough agents really explain this to people, because when you look at like creative deals, you've done some creative deals, right? Where you've had some different, like you've won FHA financed offers against conventional or cash offers or other things. And so what are you doing to present options to your clients right now to help them make make sense for them to transact, because a lot of these people are transacting not because of the market, but because they have like a life need or a family need.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think options are always good. Really, it's just for me about listening to what their needs are, and trying to find a way to fill that for them. So, I mean, I think sometimes just leaning into the market and what it is right now, seeing the opportunities
Mhm.
that are there, is really great for buyers. I mean, they're finally feeling a bit of a relief. It starts to feel a little bit more like I can really advocate for them, which is what a buyer's agent is all about, as opposed to just giving them all the best tips on how to actually win this offer. So, yeah, I mean, options are good, and I think it's important for buyers to know that they have them.
Well, and if when they don't, I mean, how frustrating is it? And what what I want you to think about is when we've all worked with people that have had another agent before they've worked with us, and how frustrating is it for clients when they don't know their options and someone else tells them something and like, wow, I had no idea about that. Like, what's going on there, and how does that work? So, what's your experience been with just aiming to educate versus aiming to close, like you said?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's what this business is all about. It's a relationship business. I think educating is what the consumer deserves and desires. I think a big part of this business is just coming alongside someone in one of the biggest financial decisions they're ever going to make and doing a little hand holding.
Hmm.
So yeah, sitting down, educating them on the market, giving them their options in terms of, whether they're on the buy side or the sell side. That looks different, of course, but I'm most familiar with working with buyers. So, sitting them down, talking about the market beforehand, what I'm seeing out there on the street, what it looks like to be prepared to write a competitive offer in a competitive situation. Where do we see the opportunities in today's market and take
Hmm.
advantage of those? Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about this business. It's just really being able to give value to a consumer.
Well, and when you give value and actually help them, I think that's where obviously things can go really well in your favor when it comes to repeat and referral business as an agent. But really, you're just helping somebody more than anybody
Right.
else, and that's probably the most important. So, one of the key data trends that I'm charting right now is we're seeing that 2019 inventory levels and 2025 inventory levels are about to cross, which is the first time that's happened since the pandemic. Now, in the greater Philadelphia area in the state of Pennsylvania, to give some perspective, in 2019 in November, we saw 38,200 active listings on the market. So we're still below that. Right now, we're seeing about 25,200 in the Philadelphia metro area. The number of homes for sale, and right now, just to give some perspective for everybody here, is even less. And I think we're seeing that the active listings on the market right now, we're trending, in that like under 12,000 range. Back in 2022, it was closer to like 7,500. So as you see like some more inventory coming to the market, you talked about identifying opportunities. How do you go about that? And what should consumers be thinking about to identify opportunities? Because there are more homes on the market right now. There's no question.
Yeah, I mean, I think number of days on market is a big indicator. A couple of the houses I showed today have been sitting for, 20, 30, 40 plus days. You start to see those price reductions usually after about 20 days. It's often a great opportunity for a buyer to come in and, make a strong offer that's still in to their benefit. So I think for sure days on market, just comparable properties, just getting out there with the buyers, looking at, a couple different homes that are similar, maybe in different locations, just to kind of try to figure out, where the opportunities are location wise, because I do think that location really makes a big difference, when we're talking about school district and things like that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd say just getting out there with the client, getting feet on the ground, looking for those opportunities for the homes that have been sitting longer is really what it's about right now.
Do you ever get any resistance on looking at those homes that have been on the market longer from some of your clients?
Oh, every
So,
time.
so what do they say? What are some of the myths here that you're probably dealing with?
It's just what's wrong with it.
Okay.
It's been sitting. What's wrong with it? And the reality of it is, there's lots of times there's nothing wrong at all. It's just the time of year that we're coming into, people are distracted by the holidays. A lot of people, especially if they're older, aren't necessarily looking to move in the winter. Some of these 55 and plus communities, they start to slow down a bit. Some of the niche markets, I'd say, starting to slow down a bit. Like some of these first floor masters that I've been, scraping to find with my clients.
Very
in the
hard to
summer,
find, yeah.
all of a sudden are now just sitting, waiting for someone to come around and snatch them up. So now's really the time. There's really a great opportunity there for people who are in that market to snag something like that in a time where it's not as competitive and, not be overpaying for a home.
Yeah, and so to get then there's a lot of data that backs this up. So what Lily's talking about is we're seeing showings are down 4.1% compared to this time last year. So that's less people that are looking. We're seeing that median time to contract. I don't like the median, I like the average, but this is what we got. It's up a day. We're seeing that canceled listings are up 10.3% compared to this time last year. We're seeing that 8.1% of all the listings have a price decrease right now. So these are things that are, they create opportunity in the marketplace. And, when you get a client that says like, hey, what's wrong with the property? How do you answer that for them? Because I think sometimes there is something wrong, by the way, like it's all obviously like a one by one case study, but how do you answer that? Because I think a lot of people watching this and listening are probably feeling the same way.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I don't know. So a lot of times the answer is, you know what, let me reach out to the listing agent, get a little bit of the backstory here, kind of dig a little bit deeper into the MLS, review the seller's disclosure, which is going to tell me a lot of information about the house. So it depends. It's a case by case basis. Each home is different. Certain things will pop out at you like, oh, well, this is probably why I just found out that, the septic didn't pass and now the township needs this done for the UNO. And okay, so there's room for negotiation there. Something came up and now it's out there for everybody to know. And now we have to be able to work with that. But if you're willing to, there's a real opportunity. So yeah, it really depends on the house. It just requires a little bit of communication with the listing agent, a little bit of digging on the MLS, and then but most of the time I am finding right now that there really is nothing wrong. It's a good house in a good location. We're just not seeing as much competition at the moment.
Well, usually there's never something wrong. Like I've been through this so many times, and it's usually that you when a home hits the market, everyone gets excited, right? You've seen this, and there's a frenzy, and it's a new listing, and then if it doesn't sell, they're wondering, hey, like what the heck happened here? What's going on with it? And usually it's a pricing issue, or it's got like bad photos, and people are overlooking it. It's usually one of those two things. But if there is a septic issue, that's correctable, and I think a lot of people don't realize that if there's like a roof issue or something like that, it's correctable. I think that the things that you got to be careful for, like busy roads, right? Maybe some sort of condition that you can't change about the house, but that's rarely the case. So that's a really good observation on your part. So, with this, with this Ryan Serhant interview that he did, so there was 4 insights that line up with what he said on Fox Business. So it's he basically, what the quote was: if you're waiting for rates to come down, I think you're probably not a real purchaser. If you're waiting for rates to come down to where we were over the last couple of years, I think you probably should stay renting. New normal is not no low rates. I think people are confused that we're entering a new normal where we're going to have lower rates. It's not going to happen. And that lines up pretty directly with 4 Realtor.com insights. I want to get your observation on this, Lily. The first is mortgage rates are likely going to stay around today's levels even after another Fed cut. Right now, there's an 87 to 95% chance we're going to see that based on the Poly Market and CME Group averages they're putting on there, the odds, basically. Number 2, monthly buying costs should fall in 2026 for the first time since 2020. And that's because of rising incomes. That's number 3. Rising incomes are going to offset home price gains. And number 4, affordability will improve gradually, not dramatically. So, as someone that's studying the market, you're seeing these people come out and talk about this stuff, and nobody really knows. Like, think this could go wildly wrong. How accurate do you think those descriptions are by Danielle Hale from Realtor.com as well as Ryan Serhant?
I mean, well, definitely with the rates. I mean, the rate, everybody hears about these rate cuts and thinks, oh boy, interest rates are dropping, when the reality is that's already been baked in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a lot of hope there that we're going to see rates come down significantly. Certainly not before the end of the year. Of course, nobody has a crystal ball, but again, those rate cuts were already baked into the system. So we're seeing that right now with some of the lowest rates that we've seen, in the last 3 years. So as far as people's income rising, I mean, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? So I hope that's the case. I certainly can't speak to that. I don't honestly know if that is true or not, but certainly we need that because everything else is rising. Groceries are rising,
Mm-hmm.
gas prices, living expenses. I mean, it's really hard for even just a double income family. A lot of families have to work 2 jobs just to kind of be able to afford everything. So that'd be great to see. And then the last one there, I'm sorry, Tom, I missed it. But
affordability is going to improve gradually, not dramatically.
Sure. Okay. Well, that makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if people are going to be making more money, that typically doesn't happen overnight. So we are going to see that a slow increase there. And then I imagine we're not going to see housing prices go up significantly in the same way that we did around COVID time. That was just so extreme. So at some point, we're going to have to see things sort of balance out, even out, and hopefully give us all a little bit of a breather.
Yeah, and I think you're right on there in that prices are going to go up. Well, it depends where you're at, right? You're in like Austin or Florida, probably not going to go up. It's probably a little more flat there. We don't have that problem. I mean, I would anticipate we see like a 3 to 5% increase in prices. To give some expectation around salary increases, this comes from a lot of data that's out there. Expected salary increases in 2026 are going to be 3.4 to 3.5%. That's obviously a little different for people in our shoes where you have direct control over your income. And that's in line with where they were in 2025. So, we were seeing median weekly earnings were up 4.2% year over year at the end of the third quarter. So we're seeing, 3 to 4% increase in income. And that's a pretty healthy jump because it's outpaced inflation so far this year because inflation's coming in like 2.8% year over year. We haven't seen that for a while because inflation's been so high. So I think that there's a lot of I'm very bullish on next year, but I don't know that it's not going to be like the market's not just going to pick up and take off again. I think it's going to be a gradual normal market like a lot of people are anticipating. Murphy, we saw, and this shows based on some of these predictions because Realtor.com's predicting like a 3.7% increase in sales. Fannie Mae and National Association of Realtors, they're talking like 10%. That's a big range there. I think it's going to be a light breeze more than like a tailwind when it comes to the market next year. But either way, there's some stuff to be positive about if you've been in the market and been shut out. So before we break here, because I'm going to talk about some local stuff, how do you keep clients moving forward? Because I imagine there's people listening and watching that they felt like the market's just moving against them. And it's and you've had some people you've worked with for a long time that you've really been able to help. So how do you keep folks moving forward when it feels like the market's working against you? Because there are a lot of folks that feel that way right now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the folks that I've been working with who were feeling that way were looking in the spring and the summer where things really were very competitive. I mean, they were just getting to the point where, they were tired. They were tired of writing offers and being rejected and ready to kind of take that break and sit on the sidelines, which is totally understandable. But, it really depends on motivation, I'd say. If somebody is motivated to transact, they're going to transact. So really my job is to remain positive. I really like to remind them. I mean, one of the things I love about working in this industry is that truly like what is meant to be will be. I often joke and compare finding a home to like finding your soulmate. And it doesn't mean it needs to be forever, but it is, it's a special thing. Like, and I've seen magic happen in this business, like total miracles happen where, this person should not have won this home. In fact, they were denied the offer and then, it came back around. So if it's meant to be, it'll find you. And I think it's just like giving people that kind of positive outlook to recognize that just keep doing the things you need to do. Get out there, look at the homes, and do your best to write a fair and competitive offer. If it doesn't work out, we move on. It's just picking up and going on, showing a little bit of grit.
So it's not just the universe; it's also because you're a skilled agent who knows how to win offers and how to present these things appropriately. I mean, that's very real. I mean, there's oftentimes the best price doesn't win. The best terms don't win because it's a sloppy contract. There's the finances aren't in order. You see that a lot. People don't present all the right documentation, and it's not an agent. This is a seller call, right? You're dealing with someone that's making a decision. So give yourself some credit. Number one, I think that's probably most important. But you're right that the universe is real, and invariably it does work out for people. They lose a house, they end up finding something better. But staying positive is pretty important. I think that's an underrated skill. There's too much negativity out there in general, especially in real estate. So I think that's good work on your part. So last thing here. So we're talking about, December demand hit a 3-year high in the month of December because rates have been below 6.64%. Are you feeling there's a lot of activity in the December month right now? I know we're only 9 days in. I certainly can give you my opinion, but what are you feeling in the market just working there day to day? I mean, I see you posting all the time in our Slack app, showings going at. I mean, you're busy, right? You're running around, you're working with people. You sold a home with multiple offers the weekend of Thanksgiving, or the weekend before Thanksgiving. So what are you seeing as the year wind downs here for consumers and in terms of just activity in the marketplace in general?
I mean, for me as an agent, I'm as busy as I am right now than I was when I was in July, June and July. I've 3 closings this week, and I'm about to get another under contract. Buyers are out there. People are looking to move always. There's good reason for it. So I think, for the consumers who are thinking that, they've just got too much going on, they want to wait for the spring, they're hoping for rates to come down, maybe just check yourself and be sure that that's really the best plan, because, and maybe it is, waiting's always an option, but right now there are opportunities for buyers. And I think that's getting people a little bit excited after being in a bit of a slump. So I'm hearing buyers like, what's going on here? Why is this house sitting? Yes. What's wrong with it? Oh, should we go see it? I mean, do we have a chance? It's like people are dipping their toe back in and realizing that they may have some real opportunity right now and they're taking advantage of it.
Well, that's really sound advice, and it's got to be the right house. I mean, there's a formula, right? You live there the next 5 years. Financially, it makes sense, and the home hits about 70% of what you're looking for. So, if you can hit that, there are opportunities out there for sure. And part of this is because inventory is rising, and we're seeing that rate. It's a little more affordable now, and the buyers that are out now. I mean, I'm not saying go buy a house. What I'm saying is look at your options, because there's going to be a whole lot more people about 30 days from now that are going to start coming into the market and thinking about doing something in the spring. And the most savvy consumers, buyers and sellers, they always try to get a little ahead of that. So I think that's really sound advice here, knowing that we're coming off. I mean, this is actual data. It's a 3-year high of mortgage purchase application data. We haven't seen this same data since, in terms of mortgage purchase applications, since the beginning of 2023. And that was only that short window of time where rates hit like that high 5 range before they dropped. They went back up. So great stuff, Lily. Really good advice. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to be talking about Chester County taxes, development projects in Chester County. I don't know if you saw, there's a cruise ship terminal coming to Tinicum. Very exciting. There's another mall up for sale. We're going to break it all down next on Toole Time Real Estate Radio on WWDB 860 AM. Made it in okay? I mean, you're here. Good job. I got a lot of clips and stuff. I usually send them to Nick when we're doing this, so crushed it. That was perfect. Well, you know what you're talking about, so that makes it easy. I was trying to text you. I got this new iOS, and it wasn't like
mine wasn't.
It wasn't like sending. I had to send it from my computer.
Picture. I'm like, this is where I am.
You're right outside. There's like a button.
I was right there. I didn't realize there was a button.
That's my bad.
I should have read
bad
it.
instructions. That's my fault.
No worries.
We made it. It's all good. You got a busy day, huh?
I'm trying to take all this in. I'm just like, what is going on here? This is so cool.
I told you it was a radio show.
I
It wasn't
know,
like it wasn't.
but I've like driven by. It's so funny. I remember like driving. I used to live off City Line Avenue in Overbrook.
Okay, yeah.
When I was in like fifth grade.
Pennsylvania with
So I
over
used to like drive past
165
this
million
area
in
all the time.
volume for
Like,
2021. I'm Tom Toole, and our
It's
team
not that
has
exciting.
achieved that kind of
I know, it's
success by
cool.
being a great place to work
but
with
yeah,
and to
very
work
busy
for.
week.
No one knows Greater Philly better than we do. We know real estate,
Super
but more
happy to have
importantly,
these
we're real
closings this month
people.
right before
Good
Hire
job,
the
too.
best
It's
agents,
stressful
and we
with,
give them all the
especially
tools
when you
to
got
succeed. Even our
a
brand
kid,
new
like little
agents sell
kids and all
17
that stuff. Like, trust
a
me,
year because
This
our
week I
team
was like, I
delivers
don't
the
know how I'm
best
gonna do it.
experience in real estate.
We're doing
Teams
you'll do it because
built
you
by
have to.
veterans
You'll figure it out. Like
Exactly.
you're pretty
100%
resilient.
real
So
estate team in the
Yes.
country. We call it
How you feeling?
AAA service. We're your
Okay.
advocate, ally, and advisor. Because this isn't a transaction to us.
probably know what
It's
to
a
expect a little
relationship.
more. You know,
If you're buying or
it's
selling a
the
home,
first
call the
one.
Tom
Oh
Toole
my
sales
God.
group at RE/MAX main line at 610
No, that's fun.
692
I
6976
love radio.
or
so
visit tomtoole.com. That's
be
Tom
here.
Toole with an E.com.
I mean, we usually like we'll have like guests on and stuff like that, but I try to have Sarah usually does it, but since she's out, she has a baby, so I mean, this will be we'll get like social media clips and stuff. Like I send Nick, so he's got like all the where's it here? So these are all the clips. Like this is what I'm doing on my computer. So he's gonna pull them all, and then we'll have like some videos we can post and stuff on social. Kind of like collab with you and all that. What's your Instagram handle? Plug that here.
Them a successful career, a great
Okay, you're
life,
reading West
and an
Virginia,
unbeatable
thanks for
culture. Agents who've been with us for at least a year.
This is how you want people to get in touch with you? Is there a better way?
Even our brand
that,
new
Instagram?
agents
Yeah, is that
average
good?
17 to 24 sales a year. We offer proven systems and expert training.
All right.
We help you
No, I
set
did
more
have to.
appointments
I
and
had to
sell
make
more
all my
houses.
stuff
Now here's the
private.
offer. If you
Because
don't
I'm
have a
starting
real
to get
estate
some
license
weird-
yet, we offer real estate
There's a lot of
scholarships
messages.
so you can get one for
Right.
free. Check it out at Real
Like
Estate
that later.
Scholarship
Yeah, this is getting recorded, so I would
Or visit
definitely
the
tell me about it on the
Tom
way
Toole
out.
group at RE/MAX main line at tomtoole.com. That's Tom.
I get those things all the time. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes.
Get more out of your real estate career, and remember.
Oh, that one, that's different than what I'm talking
You
about.
always get more.
That's
when you
horrible.
work with Tom Toole. Have you considered a career in real estate? You get
Little guy?
control over your
No, my
income.
daughter.
Whether you
It's a
have a
video I
license or
posted
not,
of
call
her
us today
and
at
her friend.
610-692-6976
People are creeps.
or visit tomtoole.com.
Yeah, I'm-
Join our team.
I was like,
the
that's
Tom
it.
Toole
I'm
sales
done.
group at
Yeah, I don't know how to
RE/MAX
play
main line.
I'll give me your website. How's that sound? All right. Welcome back to Toole Time Real Estate Radio on WWDB 860 AM. I'm Tom Toole. She's Lily Christinger. We both work at the Tom Toole Sales Group at RE/MAX Mainline, the #1 RE/MAX team in Pennsylvania since 2018. And we've got a lot of news coming out of Chester County right now. There's a cruise ship terminal being built in Delaware County, which is bananas to me. I still can't get over this. We should probably start with that first. And then another mall is up for sale as well. So, and we've also got a great new listing hitting the market as well as a killer open house this weekend. So if you get some value out of this or you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. And if you want to schedule a call with our team and Lily specifically to talk about your real estate needs, you can do that with the link in the comments. So this cruise ship terminal, this is mind-blowing to me. And this was reported, I think it was just yesterday or maybe last week. So Tinicum Township at the former Hog Island Dock Terminal facility, they are now building a cruise ship terminal. And it's going to be for Norwegian Cruise Lines. It's going to be Philadelphia's exclusive home port. And the agreement lasts from 2026 to 2033. And they're going to have 41 sailings a year with an annual economic output of $300 million. It's just east of the airport, if you don't know where Tinicum is. It's kind of like where all the airport parking is, right? When you head down there, and there's going to be two partners, Energy Transfer and Norwegian Cruise Line. Both of them are, they kind of identified Philadelphia as a lot of opportunity. I was shocked by this, and it's going to create 2,185 jobs. So, what do you think about this, Lily? I mean, this is not something I would have expected here.
Oh, sounds like a whole lot of people are going to need housing in Philadelphia.
Well, that's true. I think it'd be a big boom for that part of Delaware County too. But what do you think this does for Delaware County? Is this going to bring a lot more business to the city? Tell me your initial reaction.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, when I think about cruise lines, obviously people are going on vacation.
Mhm.
you like to try to find a port that's not too far from your house, so you're not spending the money, on the airfare and then getting on the cruise. So I think for locally, at least, going to add a lot of value to the folks who already live here. And for those who don't, I mean, it's certainly going to bring in some tourism, I would imagine. People planning their trips around. Oh, all right, like we're going to leave from Philly. Let's check out Philadelphia. I mean, maybe help out some restaurants and shopping in this area. I mean, Delaware County is pretty busy as it is, so hopefully it won't screw with traffic too much. But yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, where are these cruises heading to? Do we know?
So that I don't know. I'm not a big cruise person. I've never gone on a lot of cruises. I'd rather kind of go and explore. But let's see. I mean, we can look up where Norwegian Cruise Line goes to. I mean, they'll probably tell you. I'd imagine. Here we go. Here's the destinations that they have. So while this loads, I did a little research as well. But they go to the Bahamas, I think, would be an obvious one. Bermuda, the Caribbean. I can't imagine they're going to be going to like some of their like the Greek Isles. I don't think you're cruising to the Greek Isles from Philadelphia, right? Like I think it's going to be more like the Caribbean. It's the Caribbean. My grandmother is from Barbados. She always would get mad at us when we would say it improperly. But that's what I would imagine. I think it's probably going to be some of the islands and stuff down there. I did a little research on this, so it looks like there's going to be $100 million annual economic impact when it comes to this cruise line being here, because you're bringing a lot of jobs. Number one, right. I think it could lift property values down there too, because I mean, Southern Delaware County is definitely a little different than Northern Delaware County. So I think that could be a big plus. I could see maybe like Essington and these areas getting developed a little more, because usually you don't just like go right to the cruise terminal. Right. Like you're gonna, like you said, I think you're gonna stay over somewhere. I would imagine there could be some hotels that get developed down there. That would make sense. I mean, going into the city from there, going to the airport from the city, it's not like this easy drive. So I don't know that that's going to happen. There are a lot of airport hotels, but with 41 annual sailings, I mean, it's basically one a week. I mean, how many people fit on a cruise line? I mean, there's thousands of people there. So I think you're going to see a good bit of economic bounce here when it comes to tourism, hospitality jobs. Maybe you see some employment in South Philly. So I think there's a lot of good things that come out of this. And I'm surprised that it's taken this long to be pretty close. I mean, like Baltimore has a cruise port, right? Like, why doesn't Philadelphia?
True.
So I don't know. That's just my observation here. Have you gone on a lot of cruises? Like, I'm not a big cruise person.
So I went on one. And
I've also been on one.
That was to never go again.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah,
It's not for me.
I went with my family, and my now wife was with us, but we weren't married at the time. And thanks to our Catholic upbringing, they made us stay in separate cabins, which was ridiculous because we were living in the same house at the same time. But so that's all. I didn't like the cruise. I don't like being stuck on the boat. I think that's a real problem. I like to kind of go out and explore and do different things. So. Well, good news for Philadelphia there, and I think that's going to be great for Delaware County. Now, there's also some Chester County development projects here, and this is in your neck of the woods, Lily. So there's 4 different developments that were announced just this over the past year. The Exton Mall we're going to hold off on. That's obviously been going back and forth for a while now. Downingtown Station. This is interesting. So in the early stages right now, PennDOT is leading a project to redevelop Downingtown train station. It doesn't match up-to-date traveling or safety standards, and the tracks are currently supported by a stone arch bridge and has a single narrow sidewalk and substandard vertical clearance. It's going to move a half mile to the east near 322. They're going to have high-level platforms, pedestrian bridges, more parking, and they're going to use Amtrak and SEPTA there, which I thought was pretty interesting, getting Amtrak. So what do you think about this? I mean, you live out that way. I mean, are there a lot of people that use the train out there? Tell me more about your observations here when it comes to the Downingtown train station getting developed.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, people move to the area to be near the train station. I mean, I think this is really good news, especially with some of that news we were hearing about them possibly shutting down. That was a little nerve-wracking there for a while. So this sounds good. This sounds like positive, good development that will be good for home values and really convenient for the folks who live there.
So, I mean, the train ride's pretty long to get into the city from there, but I think folks underestimate they just might be going to like the main line. They might be going somewhere else because that's on that Paoli Thorndale line. Given the pace that Downingtown is growing with new construction, it's one of the few areas, and even into Coatesville and some of the surrounding townships, there's more new construction there than anywhere else in Chester County, at least northern Chester County. So I think you almost have to do that because there's so many people moving there.
True.
And I mean, have you ever taken the train from like Exton or Downingtown into the city?
Exton, yeah.
So how long does it take? That's my question.
It's not that. It's like 45 minutes.
So it would take you just as long to drive.
Yeah.
But you're not driving.
Right.
So to me, that's like a huge win. And especially with I know they just secured some funding for SEPTA to keep these lines going. I think this is really smart because if you got to go to the city every day, you can be so much more productive on the train than you can if you're driving, and it's a lot less stressful. It's probably cheaper because you're not paying for parking and gas and everything else. So I think this is a really smart move, given the pace that Downingtown. I mean, you and your family just moved there, so
we did, yeah. No, and I'm happy, super happy about it. We moved from Westchester to Downingtown, so we were close to the Exton station. It was super convenient. I just drove into Philly in morning traffic to get to that event.
The event we did, yeah.
And I was like, I can't believe people do this every day. This is just.
I live a lot closer, and I don't like driving in. So I mean, I'm only a couple minutes from the radio station here, and it's horrible. Like it's not. There's no traffic. It's great, but that's never the case. So I think this is good. I mean, you've seen SEPTA invest in a lot of these stations. The Ardmore station's been upgraded. Malvern a couple years ago. There's a lot of good things happening there. So I hope they can get the funding. But that to me is going to be it's really good news for the whole area, because when you see public transportation get invested in, it's good for home values. It's going to bring more people there. Big win for Downingtown and the surrounding area. There's also, now this is pretty, I want to get your take on this. So there's a West Goshen hotel plant. This is very interesting. I don't know if you heard about this. So there's a 200 hotel room. It's going to be at 205 Carter Drive in Westchester. And there's going to be 220 parking spaces. The West Goshen Hotel, I didn't even know that. I mean, there's not many hotels in Westchester. What do you think about a hotel that size coming to Westchester?
I mean, I find it very interesting. I think it does make some sense if we think about sort of the movement that happened from, New York City to this area over the COVID time. We did get a lot of transplants during that time from other cities. And I'm just even thinking about Westchester could become more of like a destination. I mean, not only is it a college town, but now
that's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Have moved here who could potentially have family coming to visit. And West Goshen, I mean, it's a very popular area, both for real estate, mostly for people who, want to find a good place to settle down. So, I mean, in some ways, it does seem kind of odd. It's compared to the rest of the world, we feel like this tiny little spot. But I mean, Westchester has so much to offer. I think it's pretty exciting that they think, it's worth creating a building this size to host that many people. I mean, maybe an event space too. If you think about weddings and things
that's a good point.
That, we're having a lot of that around here. So yeah, I'm excited to see. I'm come from the hospitality business, so
yes,
a lot of support there for them. That could also bring a lot of jobs to the area. So excited about it.
I mean, it's not like it's like a small hotel. I mean, 200 rooms is significant. And really the only hotels around there, you got the Microtel Inn and Suites, and then there's the Hotel Warner. I mean, these are smaller venues for sure. And there's really nothing. I mean, you look at it, it's almost like a bullseye around Westchester. There's the one hotel. It's like really kind of boutique right in the borough. I can't remember the name of it. It's like right off where Iron Hill used to be.
Okay.
But
I thought that was the Warner.
Maybe that. See, this is what you're probably right. Okay. I never stay in hotels in Westchester. So and it's small. Yeah, it looks cool to like hang out in. But the university, I never thought about that. Like Parents Weekend, that sort of stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's not really a lot of places to stay. So, when you see development like this, I get excited because that means that there's going to be more jobs coming to the area. To your point, you need staff 24 hours to run a hotel. So I think that's going to be a big plus. And when you see that happen, I think that speaks to investing in Westchester. And it also kind of talks about like Westchester's getting a little expensive right now. Yeah. It's a little bit different than it was 10, 15 years ago. And, when you look at, what that means for home sellers, I mean, Chester County's seen, pretty dramatic increases in appreciation year over year, even compared to some other spots. So I think that's going to continue. I think it's good for Westchester because there are a lot of people that want to visit there. And the borough is so much different than it used to be even 15, 20 years ago. I mean, just think about the Christmas parade. Like that's like a big
Gosh,
event.
yeah.
Like
Halloween.
there's also all sorts of stuff happening there. So another good move here. Now, I'm curious what you think about this, and then we'll kind of talk about these open houses here that we got. The Franklin Mall. So up in the Northeast, there are malls getting sold left and right. Plymouth Meeting just got sold. Exton Mall. I mean, they've been. I still can't believe Exton Mall is sitting vacant like that. Franklin Mall. It's Philadelphia's largest outlet mall and the second largest in Pennsylvania. Just got put up for sale. It's a 137-acre property. What do you think is going to happen with this here? What are they going to do with it?
That's a great question. What's going to happen with Exton? We all wonder. I mean, first of all, the decline of malls, I got to say, it makes me sad. It's my childhood. You know, I've got teenagers. I wish they had a place that they could go, walk around, feel relatively safe, and have fun with friends. So, again, I think the effects of COVID, we're seeing this here. And so there's a little bit of a mourning, but I guess, you know, door closes, windows open. So, I mean, hopefully great things. I mean, potentially real estate. And it seems like a lot of these, you know, apartments buildings are popping up places. Usually they're not for sale, like for lease. So I don't love seeing that personally as a real estate agent, but I mean, it'd be great if maybe we could get some more inventory for homes in that area.
Yep.
People have had creative ideas for malls. I don't know if you've seen some of them out there, but you know, so it'll be interesting to watch. I have no idea.
So when you look at this here, and they just rezoned like the Willow Grove Air Force Base. I thought that was another small because they have these outdated properties that everyone's looking for land right now. I mean, imagine if you had more new construction to sell.
Right.
Like that, I think that would solve a lot of problems locally. Now, the problem with this that I see is right now it's zone CA2. So that's a commercial use in the city of Philadelphia. So a buyer would be allowed to develop 1.4 million square feet of warehouse space. I don't think that's what anybody needs right now. So you're going to have to, you know, get like some rezoning done. Some of the other uses are a retail center, but the JLL, who is handling the listing, they're saying that all options are on the table. There's been a huge decline in occupancy and foot traffic. I mean, you talk about I used to work at the Exton Mall when I was a kid, and it's. You know, that was like the play, and then they expanded it. Do you remember this? Like it was like, and it was like so exciting, and then it kind of went like right downhill because King of Prussia is the only viable mall now. Right. People would rather drive there. So, you know, Plymouth Meeting, they're talking about like youth sports. Exton, they're talking about rentals, but they're also going to build 220 some townhomes there. That was part of it. You look at what happened at Town Center in King of Prussia. I think that worked. King of Prussia used to be like this weird place. Yep. Like no one wanted to live there.
Right.
I mean, but like there was houses there, but now it's like it's okay. I think they could. I think it could be better what they did, but having all that housing there, I think is pretty helpful for a lot of people. There's a ton of restaurants there, which I know everyone wants to walk to. So I would hope you would see something like that. I mean, 137 acres is a lot of space, and that's. I mean, they only have 68% occupancy. I don't know if you've been to a mall recently, but there's like nobody at these places. Like it's depressing.
It's wild.
Doesn't feel safe because no one's there. You're absolutely right. And having kids, I kind of feel you on that one, probably more than you realize. So I hope they develop this and put some affordable housing in there, like townhomes, condos. I think that's really what the market needs because most new construction you're showing, I mean, it's what, like 800, 900,000 half the time?
And that's just starting.
Do you want a door? Yeah, add it on here. Yeah. So what should they do with the place as we get played out here?
What should they do with it?
Yeah, what's your opinion? What do you want them to do with it?
I think mixed use. I think going for, you know, some townhomes, some apartments, some restaurants, some shops, like maybe like they have down Newtown Square in King of Prussia. I think that would draw a lot of traffic to the area and maybe even, you know, just draw some interest in terms of home ownership there as well.
Love that. All right. I would agree. I think you want kind of like use the King of Prussia model, put some like affordable housing in there, some townhomes, that sort of stuff. I think that could work really well. So we got one new listing hitting the market this week. It's 5702 Belmar Terrace in Philadelphia. This is being shown by appointment only. It's at $219,000. You want to schedule a tour, you can click on the link in the comments. Lily can get you in. And we've got one incredible open house coming up at 7019 Piper's Glen in Mount Airy. This is at priced at $650,000, an immaculate townhome roof deck. 12 to 2 on Saturday. Go check it out. David Archer's hosting. That's all we got. You want to get in touch with Lily, you can find her on our website. It's lilychrissinger.tomtoole.com. You can follow me at TomToole3RD on Instagram, and we'll be back next week on Toole Time Real Estate Radio on WWDB 860 AM. Nice job.